Chapter 1. The darkness descends. As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows across the bustling streets of the city, an eerie silence began to settle over the landscape. One by one, the people of the metropolis felt a strange heaviness descend upon them, a sudden weariness that seeped into their bones. Their steps slowed, their conversations dwindled, and within moments, the vibrant urban landscape fell into a deep, dreamless slumber. This phenomenon was not limited to the towering skyscrapers and crowded avenues. Across the globe, in rural villages and remote wilderness, the same inexplicable pattern unfolded. Farmers tending to their fields, families gathered for evening meals, and travelers making their way through the night, all succumbed to the mysterious pull of sleep, their souls embarking on a journey that would forever alter the course of their lives. The transition was seamless, almost imperceptible, as if the world had collectively blinked and slipped into a parallel dimension. Yet, unbeknownst to the sleeping masses, their very essence, their individual consciousness, was about to undertake an extraordinary voyage, traversing the Earth's crust to inhabit the bodies of strangers on the other side of the globe, just as they were waking up to greet the new day. It was a phenomenon that defied explanation, a cosmic dance of the human spirit that had occurred for centuries, hidden from the waking world. But on this fateful night, the veil would be lifted, and a diverse tapestry of lives would collide in ways no one could have imagined. As the darkness settled over the planet, the stage was set for a profound exploration of identity, empathy, and the very nature of the human experience. The midnight swap had begun. Amara blinked rapidly, her heart pounding as she took in the unfamiliar surroundings. Gone were the cramped quarters of her modest apartment, the worn furniture, the familiar sights and sounds of her small village. Instead, she found herself in a sleek, modern office, the vast expanse of the city skyline stretching out before her through floor-to-ceiling windows. Panic rose within her as she raked her gaze over the pristine, high-end furnishings, the polished desk, the sleek computer monitor. This was no place she recognized. It was a world apart from the life she had known, a life of humble means and unwavering determination to make a difference in her community. Amara's fingers trembled as she ran them over the expensive-looking suit she now wore, the material unfamiliar against her skin. She stared down at her hands, foreign in their manicured appearance, and a shudder of unease passed through her. This was not her body. This was not her life. And yet, somehow, it was. Swallowing hard, Amara pushed herself up from the chair, her legs unsteady as she made her way towards the office door. She had to get out of this place, had to find a way to understand what was happening. As she reached for the handle, a sudden realization struck her. She had no idea where she was going, no sense of direction in this alien environment. Amara's breath caught in her throat, panic threatening to overwhelm her. She was a stranger in her own skin, adrift in a world that seemed to defy all logic and reason. With trembling hands, she sank back into the chair, her mind racing as she tried to make sense of this extraordinary, unsettling predicament. Jiro's eyes fluttered open, and he was immediately assaulted by a barrage of unfamiliar sights and sounds. Gone were the verdant fields and the gentle rhythm of life in his remote village. Instead, he found himself surrounded by towering skyscrapers, the cacophony of honking horns, and the relentless energy of a bustling city. Disoriented, he blinked several times, his weathered hands gripping the plush leather of the chair he now occupied. This was not his modest home, with its simple furnishings and the comforting familiarity of a lifetime spent in the same place. The air was thick with the scent of technology and the faint whiff of something he couldn't quite place. A blend of foreign spices, perhaps, or the acrid tang of exhaust fumes. Jiro's brow furrowed as he surveyed the sleek modern office, the gleaming computer screens, and the array of gadgets that adorned the desk. This was a world he had only glimpsed in the rare television programs that reached his village, a realm of wealth and progress that had always seemed so distant, so foreign to his way of life. And yet, As he shifted in the chair, he couldn't ignore the unfamiliar sensations that now inhabited his body. The limbs were longer, the movements more agile, the senses heightened in a way that was both exhilarating and deeply unsettling. Jiro ran a hand through his hair, now dark and thick where it had once been silver and wispy, and a tremor of unease passed through him. He was no longer the weathered farmer he had been mere moments ago, but a young, ambitious tech entrepreneur. A stranger, in every sense of the word. Jiro's heart raced as he grappled with the implications of this extraordinary, inexplicable transformation, his mind struggling to comprehend the gravity of his new circumstances. Alex's eyes snapped open, his heart pounding as he took in the unfamiliar surroundings. Gone was the cozy, familiar comfort of his modest family home, replaced by the luxurious trappings of a high-rise apartment. Sleek, modern furniture, floor-to-ceiling windows offering a breathtaking view of the city skyline, and the faint hum of technology. This was a world apart from the warm, lived-in atmosphere he had grown accustomed to. Panic rose within him as he realized he was no longer in his own body, but inhabiting the form of a successful executive.